Good morning, children. In the previous class, I gave you an introduction to Scratch. I told you about the sprite, and then I told you how to use the motion block and the pen block. We had used it doing some drawing lines. Okay, today we'll continue with some more things about the Scratch program. Let me share the screen with you. Yes, today we are going to learn about backdrops, how to add a backdrop. There are different ways to add backdrops, okay, to a stage, like how you have on your computer screen, you put a nice background screen picture. So this way for our Scratch program also, we can use a background setting. There are four ways to put these backgrounds to your stage. One is you can choose it from the library. The second one is you can paint your own backdrop. The third one is you can upload it from your file, that is from your computer. And the fourth way is to take a picture with your camera. If you have a camera on your computer, just take a picture and you can use that as a backdrop. You can see here there are many pictures, but we will do it um, using the Scratch program. Okay, this is Scratch screen. I'll say don't update it. This is Scratch 2. So if I save it also, it will be saved with Scratch SB2 is the extension. Okay, now this is Scratch screen, and here you have the different backdrops of your screen. Can you see, children? This is the different backgrounds of your screen. Here it says choose the backdrop from your library. Second one says you can paint your own new backdrop. The third one says you can upload the backdrop from your file. And the fourth one is take a backdrop using your camera. We'll try out all of them. The first one we'll choose from the library. So I'm clicking on it. In my library, I have a lot of backdrops. I'm just scrolling down and pulling this thing down. You see, there are still more backdrops. So you have a lot of backdrops in this uh, screen. So you can see there is some blue skies. There's something to do with some. Uh, it's already selected, but I don't want that backdrop. See, there are so many things. So I want to take this as my backdrop. So I'll click OK and let me see what happens. So I'm taking, this became my backdrop because I selected this. This also came as a backdrop. Right now I have three backdrops. One is a plain one and one is something like this, something to do with some gymnastic type of thing. And the other one is a nice scenery. Right, children? Now, this is how we take backdrops from the, from the library. If I want to paint a new backdrop, I'm clicking on paint, this paint brush. And here I will go to a new screen to paint. So here I have an empty screen. I want to show, I want a car racing, backdrop where a car is, they're going to have a car race. So if I want a car racing background, first I'll select this and you know how to use this, right? I'll put a green field. So I'll just take the green, I'm selecting in this color picker green, and then I'm using my color fill, that's my bucket fill, and I'm clicking here. Once I click, the whole thing becomes green. Now I need to put a track around this where the car is going to move. So again, now I have to select this part and then I need to select the brown. So if you see, it's very small, I can't see it, right? So I need to put a track. I'll use a brush tool. To put the track, I need to use a brush tool. You can see the line is very thin. So I can broaden the track by just using this slider. See, I'm sliding this and it's becoming bigger. The width is becoming bigger. Let me see whether this track is better, right? You can make it as big as you want. Okay, now you can use the track. It became a dot here, so I'll start the track here itself. The car is going to move on this grass. You can put it correctly. I'm just putting it, uh, oddly. You can put it neatly. And here I'll put the car by selecting the sprite. In the sprite, I'm going to transport because car is one of the means of transport, right? I'm clicking transport here. And here I have cars. I'll select this car, okay? And I'll say okay. Yeah, the car is here. You can just drag the car on your track. And if the car is too big, just go to your costumes. Oh, good. I'll make this smaller so that I can use the sprite better. Go to the costumes and you can make this thing small. See, the car is on the track. And then you can use it for the game, right? Now the next one is you can take it from the library. Okay, see, in my library I have many pictures. If I want this as my background, I'll just say open, and then I get a new. I'm taking this as the from my file and I say open. So I've got another background here. So I've got this as my background. Can you see in the background when I click here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 backgrounds, right? So this is how you do your background. So all these things are the steps to create the background, and you can delete a background, unwanted background. So I'll show you how to delete. I don't want this white screen. Just click on the screen. Immediately you get an X button here. Just close the button and then it gets deleted. I don't want this. Click on what you don't want and just close it, right? Whatever you don't want, you can just close it. And whatever backgrounds you require, you can, here you can close whatever you want. Okay, children. Just right click here also, you can say delete in this. So all the backgrounds that you don't require, because you are in the sprite mode, it's showing the sprite 1 and sprite 2. If you go to the stage, you can see you have only 2 stages left. That's how you delete your stages. Then coming to deleting a backdrop, I showed you just now. And here, if you want to copy a backdrop, you just have to click on duplicate. So I'm going back to my screen here, to the scratch screen. I want this duplicate. So just right click on it and say duplicate. It will duplicate the screen exactly how it was. Clear? See, I've got 2 screens now of the same type. Okay. In this, now we are going to do a different way of duplicating. Okay. Um You'll now have 2 backdrops which are the same. See, so I have 2 backdrops. Now in this editing a backdrop, now in this I've taken my own backdrop, and then you select the backdrop where you want to make a change in it. Okay, to the left of your you can just do the editing of whichever you want, because you get the screen here on the side too. So select a portion of the backdrop. Say you want only 75%, you don't need the whole thing, you can just select it. We'll try what it is like, okay? So here's my backdrop. This I selected. Whichever I want, I can select, and I don't want some part of it. So you can just do the selection of how much ever you want, clear? And only that much part will be selected, whichever part you want. See, only that part will be selected if you want, okay? So I don't, and the other things will just get deleted. See how it became. See, it changed. The shape totally changed. That's how you do the editing. Now I want to use different paint tools to edit the background. I want to type here something like they have typed happy. So you also can do the same thing. say I want to type, I'll take the screen and then I want to type, so use a text tool and I'll type here, good morning students. Can you see? I've done this thing. You can, you can just move to whichever, if you say here like this, want it bigger, you can just make it bigger. Can you see? You can see these things big, right? If you want to see the slider, just see, it's become very big and nice. So you can just move with your slider till whatever position you want. Clear? So how much size you want, you can select it and then it comes within the space that you require as you want. Hope you understood this. Let's go to the next part. So that's required editing. So hope you understood this part of your lessons. Now we will do how we select a new sprite. So in every project by default, you find the cat, right? And if I want to make a new sprite, again, the same 4 ways, how you made a new background, you have the same 4 ways of adding a new sprite. So let's add a new sprite. So I have the cat here. I want another sprite. Just click it from the library and say I want anything. There are so many different types of things. Here you have animals, you have fantasy type of things. So anything you can select. And you have alphabets, you have people, you have things, you have transportation. Just now I took one of them. So it's your wish. So if I say animals, say I don't want this, I want say a dinosaur, you can just select and that becomes your sprite. Click on OK and that becomes your sprite. Can you see your dinosaur is here? Okay, that's how you make a new dinosaur. And then you can paint your sprite by same way, clicking on the paint, and here you can create your, whatever you want. So if you want it this way, I want the full circle. So I can select. If I don't want a thing, it'll come plain. Let's do the plain and the big one also. See, this is one. It has like, because the thing was big, so it should, again, I'm saying, I want a yellow one. And then I want this way. You can make this thin actually. It's too thick. You can select a full, see, I am creating my own sprite. So I want black eyes for it. So whatever you create will come there in the picture. So I'm taking the circle tool and I'm making black eyes for this thing, right? Again, I want to make another black eyes, black. So one green eye came up because it went on green. Okay. You can put the black itself, change it. If you select this, you can change to black. Now, I'm putting some red mouth. So here. See, this is how you create your own sprite. See, the sprite came off here, right? And then if I want to take it from the library, just click on the library, go to whatever you want and see if any nice pictures are there. And you can select it from your library. Any picture that you like. Basically from the library, if you have small pictures, better, because these are too big pictures. So if I want to take something like this, a car, it's very big, a butterfly maybe, but it's very big, these type of things from the library. Here's your butterfly. So this becomes another sprite. You can see all the sprites here. And if you don't need a sprite, just click on the sprite and then you can delete it. Right click and say delete. The sprite gets deleted. Okay, right click, say delete. It gets deleted. So that's how you select. And these are the steps how you create your new sprites. Right? See, the sprites are created. You clicked on the costume. And if you want to duplicate this sprite, you just have to go to costumes. I have to make it small because every time I want a sprite, I want this sprite, and then I can just duplicate, right click and say duplicate. The sprite will get duplicated. I want this sprite duplicated. So right click and say duplicate. See, the sprite gets duplicated. That's how you duplicate the sprite, which is shown here. How to do? We can use new costumes on the sprite that changes the costumes when the crab gets close to the cat. So this is how they make different types of um, things, so that here he says you can make a game where the crab is going to pinch the uh, cat, and the cat will make a squeaky sound. Okay, so we'll be doing the games in the next thing, in the next class. Here he says how to draw a new sprite, which I already said. How to paint your new sprite, you had done it just now. And now make some tweaks to your text. So you can, like just now I said how to make the hello, you can make hello for this. Go to your text and then you make any shape or anything for it and then say hello. So that becomes again your another sprite in the sprite. Clear? Okay, this is sprite where I've written hello. So I just select the sprite because I duplicated. Can you see hello came here? So whichever sprite I'm using, according to that, so you can even put your here your text in it for see how they have created it. Okay, so here he's saying adding different coding for you to create a game. We'll start this game only in the next class. Hope you understood how to create a new backdrop and how to create your sprites through the four different ways, through from the library, paint your own sprite, and from your own file, or take click out with the camera if you have a camera. Okay, children, go through the lesson that I've taught you. Stay safe. Thank you.